You can buy the most fashionable piece of the season, put it on, and somehow look older than you did yesterday. It's never the piece. It's how many trends you're wearing at once. 7 of them are doing this quietly to elegant women right now, and the 7th is the real one. Once you see it, you'll spot it in half the outfits in your closet, and in almost every outfit that photographs well on a mannequin, but falls apart the moment a real woman puts it on. Here's the one almost everyone is wearing this week. Wide-leg trousers. An oversized sweater. A long coat. A generous scarf. Every piece on its own is gorgeous. Together, the I can't find you. It's just fabric from shoulder to ankle, with nothing to mark where the clothes end and you begin. This is simply how proportion works. The I reads an outline the way it reads a sentence. It needs punctuation. Without one place where the fabric meets the body, the whole outfit becomes one long word with no spaces in it. The fix costs you nothing. Keep the wide-leg trousers. Trade the oversized sweater for a fine-gauge knit tucked at the waist. One dramatic piece, one defined edge, that's the whole formula. It works the same way with other volume pairings, too. A voluminous coat over slim trousers instead of wide ones. A big scarf with a fitted turtleneck instead of a chunky one. The rule doesn't change, only one element in the outfit is allowed to be oversized at a time. Everything touching it needs to be the quieter version of itself. Try this before you leave the house. Stand sideways and look only at your outline. If the widest point starts at your shoulders and runs straight to the floor with no break, you're missing that edge. Bring it back anywhere, waist, cuff, collar, and the whole silhouette resets. A belt over that oversized sweater does the same job as swapping it entirely if you're not ready to give the sweater up. Volume needs a place to stop, or it keeps expanding until it swallows you. Now the opposite mistake, not too much shape, but shape that stops in exactly the wrong place. A short jacket, cropped right at the widest point of your torso over a long, flowing trouser. The jacket is current. Your eye still snags there, long line below, short line above, and the two never agree on what they're doing. It's the visual equivalent of a sentence that ends mid-thought. Slide that same jacket down 2 inches to your natural waist over a high-waisted trouser. Nothing else changes. The outfit suddenly reads as chosen, not just cut short. The same trap shows up in cropped cardigans, cropped puffers, even cropped blazers worn open. If the front edges of the jacket land at your widest point and stay open, they frame exactly the part of your torso you'd rather they didn't. Buttoned or belted at the true waist, that same jacket becomes flattering instantly. The fabric is doing the opposite job depending on where it stops. Here's the test, and it takes 5 seconds in a fitting room. Put your hands on your natural waist and check where the hem actually lands. Right there, you have proportion. 1 inch or 2 above it, and you have a mistake wearing a good jacket. If you already own a cropped piece that lands wrong, don't retire it. Wear it over a longer layer, like a fitted tank or a slim turtleneck, so the eye has a continuous line underneath instead of a gap. A cropped piece should sharpen an outfit. It should never split it in half. And speaking of pieces meant to do the talking, here's how the loudest item in your closet ends up getting drowned out by its own outfit. The statement coat. Dramatic color, real texture, a shape that turns heads before you even reach the door. That's already a full sentence on its own. It doesn't need help, and that's exactly the problem. Most women give it help anyway. Then comes the bold sweater underneath, the oversized jewelry, the loud bag, the shoes with an opinion. 6 things talking at once, and none of them win, including the coat you spent the most on. Picture it in real terms. A camel wool coat with a dramatic color, worn over a printed blouse, with a chunky gold necklace, a croc-embossed bag, and animal print flats. Each item on a hanger looks expensive. On a body, walking down a street, it looks like a closet had an argument with itself. Let the coat be the only reason someone notices you. Underneath, a clean knit, a simple trouser, one quiet accessory, or none. If you want jewelry, choose one piece and let it be small, a fine gold chain, not a collar necklace. If you want a bag with personality, let the coat go plainer that day. Here's a test you can run in your own mirror. Put the coat on, then remove one accessory at a time. Stop the moment the coat looks more expensive, not less. That's the outfit. 9 times out of 10, The coat looks best with almost nothing competing with it, which is uncomfortable advice for anyone who loves accessories. But it's the difference between an outfit that reads as put together and one that reads as expensive. A statement piece needs silence around it to actually make its statement. That's 3 ways an outfit can quietly work against you before you've even left the house, and there are 4 more, including the one that ties this entire video together. If knowing why something works, not just what to wear, is useful to you, this is what we do every week here at the Timeless Wardrobe, and I'd love to have you subscribed for it. Because once that coat is working beautifully alone, the next trap shows up the second it gets cold enough to reach for one more layer. Blouse, sweater, jacket, coat, scarf wrapped twice. 5 pieces, and it still somehow doesn't look finished. That's because layering and piling aren't the same thing. One adds depth, the other just adds weight, both visually and literally. Here's the fix, and it's subtraction, not shopping. Pull the sweater out of that stack. The blouse collar reappears. The jacket gets room in the shoulders. The scarf goes from competitor to accent. There's a second version of this mistake that's easy to miss, because it looks minimal on paper. 3 thin layers that all sit at the same length. A long cardigan over a long tunic over a long coat, all hitting roughly mid-thigh. Nothing is bulky, and yet the outfit still looks flat and heavy, because every layer ends in the same place, and I can't tell where one stops and the next begins. Vary the lengths, a hip-length cardigan under a longer coat, or a cropped layer under a long one, and the same 3 pieces suddenly look intentional instead of stacked. Before you walk out the door, ask one question. Which single layer actually changes this outfit? Keep that one. Every other layer has to earn its place, the same as everything else on this list. If you're not sure, take a photo in the mirror with all the layers on, then take the same photo with 1 layer removed. 9 times out of 10, the photo with fewer layers looks more expensive, not less finished. A layered outfit should reveal something new at each step, not bury everything under the last thing you put on. Texture causes the identical problem, just so quietly most women never catch it happening. Velvet trousers. A textured knit. A heavy coat. Embellished shoes. A patterned scarf. A detailed bag. Nothing here is wrong. That's exactly what makes it so easy to miss. 6 different surfaces, each asking to be touched and looked at, and your eye never makes it up to your face. Think about how this plays out in real fabric choices. A boucle jacket, paired with a cable knit sweater, paired with corduroy trousers, paired with a suede bag, 4 distinct textures, none of them loud in color, so it feels safe. It isn't. Texture creates visual weight the same way pattern does, and 4 different weights fighting for attention is exhausting to look at even when every piece is neutral in color. Pick one hero texture and let everything around it go smooth. Velvet trousers, plain blouse. Textured knit, clean trousers. Boucle jacket, simple straight-leg denim, smooth leather bag. You're not removing luxury from the outfit, you're finally giving it room to look luxurious. If you genuinely love texture and don't want to choose just one, group textures that behave the same way, too soft, brushed fabrics together read as one texture story, while a stiff tweed next to a soft mohair reads as 2 competing ones. Texture was always meant to be one decision. Not 6, made in the same 15 minutes while getting dressed. Color runs the exact same trap in the opposite direction, and it's the one most women get backwards. There are 2 ways to lose this one. Deciding bold color isn't for you anymore, and defaulting into black, navy, and gray for the whole season. Or falling for one shade and letting every other color in the closet show up to join it. The purple sweater, the purple toned scarf, the shoes with a hint of purple, until the outfit looks like it was dressed by committee. One bold color. One quiet anchor. That's the entire rule. A deep purple sweater with charcoal trousers. A rich red bag against a navy coat. An emerald blouse under a camel coat. The color reads as confident precisely because everything near it agreed to stay out of the way. This is also where undertone matters more than most women expect. The same red bag that looks rich against navy can look garish against black, simply because black has no warmth to soften the contrast. If a color combination you've tried hasn't been working, the issue is often not the color itself, but what it's being asked to sit next to. Test it, put on your boldest piece, Then strip everything else back. Quieter jewelry, plainer shoe, simple bag. If the color suddenly looks sophisticated instead of loud, that's its actual job in the outfit. You don't need a quieter personality. You need a quieter background for the one color that's allowed to be loud. 6 trends, 6 different fixes. And underneath every single one of them, the same thing was actually happening. It was never the coat, never the color, never the trouser. It was wearing all of it, the same day, the same outfit. The oversized coat, the cropped jacket, the dramatic knit, the wide trouser, the statement bag, the bold color, the rich texture. Every piece individually beautiful. Together, reading like a display case instead of a woman. That's the real reason an outfit can be expensive, current, and beautifully made, and still somehow look like it's trying too hard. It's not a fashion problem. It's an attention problem, too many pieces asking to be looked at in the same 3 seconds, so the eye never settles anywhere, including on your face. And it means something better than you'd think. You don't have to give up oversized coats, cropped jackets, statement pieces, rich texture, or bold color to look modern after 60. You just have to pick which one gets to be the loud one today, and let everything else agree to support it. Some days that's the coat. Some days it's the color. It's rarely more than 1 at a time, and it's almost never all 7. If the coat is oversized, the knit underneath goes quiet. If the jacket is cropped, the line beneath it runs long. If the color is bold, the silhouette stays classic. If the texture is rich, everything nearby turns smooth. One focal point. Everything else in service of it. That's the entire method, and it now applies to everything you own, not just the 7 pieces we talked about today. There's a woman wearing the trend. And there's a woman the trend is wearing. You can feel the difference before you can name it. Now you can name it, and you'll never get dressed quite the same way again. Which of these 7 are you most tempted to try this fall? Tell me below. I read every answer, and I build future videos around them. And if this changed how you'll get dressed tomorrow, subscribe to the Timeless Wardrobe. We do this every week. I'll see you in the next one.